there are two things that universities and hospitals should do. You know, it's really hard to balance the city's budget. We have to pay 100% of our costs and only about 52% of the tax base. Right? It just doesn't add up. And so there are at least two things that I believe that they should do. The first one is, you know, paying taxes on non-mission essential buildings. Look, I get the argument that maybe there's a charter from hundreds of years ago that says they don't have to pay taxes. I mean, I disagree with that, but let's, for the benefit of the doubt, grant them that. If you're renting to a McDonald's or a Dunkin' Donuts or an Au Bon Pain, you should be paying taxes on that just as every other landlord in the city does. So paying taxes on non-mission essential buildings, and we've sponsored and we've promoted a bill that gets them to do exactly that at the State House. The second is, just as we've seen in Pittsburgh, we've seen in St. Louis, we've seen in Massachusetts and Cambridge, they need to be much better partners in investing in the local community, making sure that we're building up the knowledge-based economy of the future, and it starts with their participation and engagement.
Kobe Dennis, same question, you're next.
You know what a lot of this has to do with? Residency. A lot of these people that made these decisions, they don't live in Providence. They don't live next door to Brown University. They don't live next door to all these nonprofits. So they gave them this grandiose deal of paying the taxes of 2 to 3 homeowners combined. Can you imagine that? Brown University pays the amount of taxes that 2 or 3 homeowners pay. That's downright ridiculous. Who would make that deal? So say we made that deal, which we did make that deal. So it's called a cited, services in lieu of taxes. Okay, well, what services are you providing? You have these beautiful fields, you have this beautiful campus, you have emergency boxes that light up to call the police. Why can't the city have all that stuff? If you're giving us services, we want what you have. I want beautiful fields. I want beautiful parks. I want an emergency box on Broad Street so somebody can call the police. I want the extension of services from these universities and these nonprofits to help the city of Providence. So if you're not going to pay, you're going to help us out.
Bob DeRobio, your view of what the nonprofit should contribute?
Right, I would like to add on a comment to what the mayor has already said with regard to real estate and paying taxes. I also think that the Providence Journal has done an expose on the number of vehicles and the tax structure for vehicles that the universities and a lot of the nonprofits have in their
Channel 12, WPRI you're talking about, right?
It could be, but I've read it in the Providence Journal. But I think that that's another way that the colleges and universities have to come up with what they owe both to the city of Providence and to many of the other cities throughout the state of Rhode Island. Because those car taxes would be, I believe that the number was over 2,000 that were exempt, and those were cars and vans. But the other areas I'd like to mention is that the mayor had mentioned that Roger Williams University was doing a program in training English language learner teachers. And I believe that every college and university should step to the forward and provide that training for our teachers so that it comes at no cost to the teachers. We have had a pool of teachers that have been hired to do a specific purpose, a job within the schools, and now they're being asked to enhance their credentials and get that additional training at their cost. The colleges and universities can certainly help us out in taking a lot of those courses and making them free to the teachers within the city of Providence.
Dee Dee Whitman, same question.
Well, it's clear we need better collaboration with our nonprofits, with our universities and our hospitals. It's remarkable that the land values in Boston, the nonprofits pay 20%, and in Rhode Island, or in Providence specifically, it's 4 to 8%. That speaks volumes as well. I do believe, you talked earlier about English as a second language. I do believe that the schools, that the universities can collaborate again with us, where why don't they have a lab school? Every university should have a lab school. Johnson & Wales should have a lab school. Brown should have a lab school. They can fill in and help us where we need it most. So I think we need to talk with them, we need to bring them into a room, and we need to say, you know, you're not going anywhere, and we're not going anywhere. It's like a bad marriage. Let's make it work.